Hey guys, Jack here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about Volve. Now, I mentioned this game in my E3 roundup video, and I'm sure that many of you guys already know what the deal is with this title. But as I've said previously, I've played this game now about 4 or 5 times on Xbox One, and I can't get enough. I really think it's shaping up to be one of the best new games this year. Definitely worth taking a look at. So Evolve is developed by Turtle Rock Studios. They of course made Left 4 Dead in the past, a very successful franchise and a brilliant game. They also dabbled in Counter-Strike a little bit too, helping out with Condition Zero and a fair few of the Counter-Strike source maps. So it seems that their mainstay, their core design, lies with competitive multiplayer gaming. Of course, that's something that's right up my street. Now Evolve is a little bit different in that it's a 4 versus 1 multiplayer game. One gamer plays as a monster that can evolve, become more powerful, and their objective is to wipe out the other human players or to destroy a power generator. The 4 other gamers are hunters, and they're trying to catch and ultimately kill the monster. So you've really got this tense cat and mouse style back and forward gameplay in this massive open world level that's full of weird alien wildlife that also interacts with you, attacks you, and aids you in completing your mission. The monster starts off pretty weak, and your best option for survival before you evolve for the first time is to run, leap away into the jungle and find some AI monsters to beat up. But the thing is, there are nastier monsters out there than you when you start off. So if you try and pick on a bigger threat than you, it's probably going to do a lot of damage to you or even kill you before you even get started. You got to run, you got to search around for smaller wildlife to kill and feast on, whilst at the same time you're being chased and hunted by 4 human-controlled hunters who have these abilities that can track and trap you. It's pretty tense at the start of the round as the monster, but as soon as you hit that second stage of evolution, you can start fighting back and doing some damage. You get bigger, your powers upgrade, you can choose if you want to do more damage, more health resistance, etc. There's all sorts of different ways to play as the monster. The hunters of course also have a lot of choice too. There's 4 classes: Assault, Trapper, Support and Medic, all with different abilities and skills that work with teammates. For instance, there's a robot support character called Bucket that can take his head off and fly it around as a UAV to find and temporarily track the monster. There's a character that's got a pet called Daisy, I guess it's like an alien dog, that can pick up the scent of the monster and lead you to it. There's mobile arenas, harpoon traps, all sorts of ways to find damage and control the monster if you get the opportunity. This is a big team play focused game when you're playing as the hunters. If you go off on your own, you're pretty much screwed. It's almost impossible to solo kill the monster. As such, the sense of accomplishment when you manage to win as the hunters in a close game is immense, very rewarding, high fives and hugs all around. Now, one other thing that really stood out to me is the interactions between the characters and just the sheer amount of detail in this game. It really shows that this is a next-gen only title. This game isn't being released on 360 or PS3. It's only on the next-gen consoles and PC. So the devs can really push the scope and scale of the game further. They're not limited by nearly 10-year-old hardware. They can definitely do new things here. It's very exciting to me, and there's not really a game like this out there at the moment. It just feels really fresh. Now, when I was at E3 last week, I managed to score an interview with Denby Grace, who's the exec producer. Lovely guy, plenty of great insight and information into the game here. Enjoy. Tell us a little bit about the game, what's it about, and why do you think it's going to be a hit when it's released?
Yeah, so it's called Evolve is a 4 versus 1 competitive cooperative shooter. And what that means is it's 4 human player controlled hunters taking on 1 human controlled sort of evolving monster, and there's many hunters to choose from, many monsters to choose from, and strategy and tactics and play a huge role in sort of the exciting gameplay. And why we think Evolve's going to be a huge hit is it's really genuinely unique. You know what I mean? It builds on that foundation that the guys had with making Left 4 Dead on the hunter side, but then adding that whole human component as a boss. It's just awesome. It's like nothing else you've played before. And also the appeal of the game. You play cooperatively or you can play on your own. You know what I mean? You take your pick. What do you want to do? And I think, again, it's something really fresh in the shooter space that I think the industry's been waiting a long time for.
Okay, so you've revealed 2 sets of hunters so far and 2 different monsters, which of course play very differently to each other. What have you done in terms of balancing? Because I can imagine once people get their hands on this game and they're playing all the time as hunters and they learn the maps, in my head I see the hunters always winning, especially for like really competitive players. So what have you done to balance that aspect of it out?
So it just takes a long time, and it's just a lot of play sessions, and we play the game like at least a couple of hours a day, if not more. Everyone in the studio, everyone at 2K, and every single time we're playing, we're collecting data on that. That's going to be the same's going to be true when we do our open beta. The same's going to be true when we even launch the game. So it's something that we just are doing all the time, every single week, every single day. So it just tweaking the dials and making sure things are balanced. As well as that, at a design level though, things are thoroughly thought through before they get to that sort of implementation stage. One of the things the guys are really good at doing is iterating and not being afraid of trying something out, but then even having to throw it away if it screws that balance too much. A lot of the abilities, well, nearly all the abilities and the items and the weapons all have a counter on the opposite team, and that's really, really important. And finding that balance is really, really important. So it's something we invest a lot of development time in, and it's just something that's going to be ongoing. As people play it, different people play it, they find new strategies and they find arguably new exploits and stuff like that. But the game we're seeing it at E3, we'll have probably cycled through like 2,000, 3,000 people by the end of the show, and we're seeing a pretty even spread between Kraken wins and Hunter wins, and the same was true when we did PAX and you guys did Gadget Show in the UK. Again, we were actually all taking surveys and taking data while all those shows were on. We're seeing very, very even spread of people with new users, so that's really reassuring. But at the same time, we've certainly got more work to do, and it's something we're just going to keep on going and going and going with.
So obviously a big ongoing process. Yeah. So I know that in one of the trailers you've released recently, you had a couple of commentators in. They were commentating on it as if it was an esports match. Is that something that you guys are going to pursue when the game is released? Are you actually looking to work with maybe like the ESL or MLG to actually make this a staple competitive game?
So the mechanics and the systems in the game sort of lend themselves to sort of depth of gameplay, and really sort of like really advanced players, they get to that strategic level, and the really advanced players are each time they're kind of like one-upping each other. We have we'll have a week in our studio where our monster players are really, really good because they've figured out some new strategy, and then the hunter players will find a way to combat that, and that's a really good thing. And we're playing it since we signed the game, we're a year and a half in, and we're still playing it every night and just loving it and finding new stuff out about it. So I think it's something that it's great to watch. It's exciting to watch. We recently did a press event in over here in Santa Monica, and it's really refreshing to see. And I'm quoting Nick from The Guardian here saying, "Oh, us press are a wily old bunch," and for us to get excited to say, "Well, we literally 30 press stood around cheering this game," we'd had a few beers, but literally it's an exciting game to watch. It's a really interesting game to watch, and that only gets more when you start understanding the game and understanding the nuance of the game, and watching really good players of the game is very exciting. We're broadcasting a bunch of stuff on Twitch, and we're getting loads of viewers as well. So we don't have any really firm plans yet, but it's certainly something we're looking at, certainly something we're excited to pursue, and things like what we're doing at E3 and we're testing the water with, it's really refreshing for us, and it's certainly something we're going to pursue.
The times that you've shown the game, we've had 4 specific hunters, and this time we've got like another set of hunters.
Yeah.
When the game's released, are you going to be able to pick and choose
Absolutely.
Which ones?
Yeah, so basically how you unlock stuff is you play that class. So you invest time in that class. As you're playing that class, say I start with Markov on the Assault, because he's the first Assault character. As I'm playing as Markov, as I'm using his specific items, I'm earning mastery of those items. Now, and also I'm earning mastery of that class, so to speak. So as I play long enough, then I unlock the next guy in that class, which is Hyde. So there's that gradual progression, and then as you have to always have one from each class in the squad, make up of a squad, but you can pick and choose which one it is. What we're seeing is people just have their favourites, whether it be their favourites because of the character or the gameplay or whatever, and then What's really cool is when you as a squad start strategizing, well, I'm going to take this guy, and then, well, you're taking that guy, then I'm going to take this guy because we've got these items and that gives us these. So you've got a good balance between a defensive team or an aggressive team or whatever, and it allows you to, how you start combining these characters is really important. And then on a very much a flavor sort of layer, it's really cool because different characters have different VO sets. When you're playing with a different character, some characters don't like each other, so when they end up in a match together, then they have different banter with each other. So that's a very nice thing that you only see once you start combining these things. But yeah, you can combine it any way you want, as long as you've got one in each class.
Yeah, so you can't have multiple classes.
You can't have,
in one
a
game.
team of all assaults, for instance.
Yeah.
You have to have one of the four.
It's just coming back to me, in Left 4 Dead, you had bots. Is that
Yeah.
something that you're going to have in Evolve?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can play the game in any combination of 5 players. So you have 5 human players, great. You have 4 human players and you want to play off against an AI monster, you can do that. You have 1 monster player on your own, you want to fill it out with bots? Yeah, absolutely. So that's fully supported. So the game is playable fully offline, online with 2 people and 1 monster, whatever, and then we fill out the gaps with bots. You can make a choice to stay offline if you don't, or if you don't do that, your game is online and people will matchmake in at the same rank as you, sort of thing. So, so we fully support that, much like Left 4 Dead.
Right. So it's a similar matchmaking system to Left 4 Dead.
No, the matchmaking system in Evolve is much more elaborate. The ranking is one element to it in terms of your rank is based on the amount of time that you spent in the game, but also how good you are. So if you play 15 hours and win a lot, you're probably going to be rank 30. I don't know. If I play 15 hours and I lose a lot, I might be rank 3 or rank 5. So that's one part of it. And then basically, the squad is like algorithmically calculated a rank based on the members of that squad. So if there's an 8, a 3, a 4 and a 9, then that might come out at like 7, right? So, and then you matchmake against a 7 monster. So that's one part of it. And then the other part of it is actually what we call a preference system. So you as a player say, well, I like playing medic first. If I can't get medic, I want to be assault. If I can't get assault, I'll be monster. And then you go off and you search for a game. Now you can fix it so you only get what you want. You might wait a little bit longer to find that perfect game, but you're only trying to find 4 other players, right? So it's not like you're trying to fill out a 16-player game or anything like that. So it's not so long, and we believe that you'd rather wait a little bit longer for that right game. As well as that, you can just say, I don't care. I just want to go in a game. I just want to play a game. Or I only want to play hunters. I don't want to play monster. You can do that sort of stuff. So we put that control in the player's hands. Ultimately, it's like, right, you play what you want, and we give you the tools to help you find the right game. Ultimately, because I think people want to play a good game, not necessarily just. But some people just want to play any game. So again, it's just like give you the tools, let you deal with it.
In Left 4 Dead, you had a progressive story as you went through the levels. There was very much like a set path that you went on when you get to safe house and next part of the level per campaign. Is that something you're doing with Evolve?
At this moment in time, we've only talked about one game mode and the content that we've just discussed. There's a lot more to come.
Yeah.
So I'd stay tuned, and it will all be revealed in the next few months.
Okay. So what's your favourite hunter in the game?
So I'm really enjoying Hyde right now, and I'm sure you'd appreciate this. He's a very sweary British guy, which I kind of associate with. But just on a gameplay level as well, he's a lot of fun. You know, he's a very short-ranged sort of assault character. You can get right in the monster's face and sort of deal super damage with that. That flamethrower is actually the most powerful sort of a weapon in the game. So it's very cool. But also I play a lot of Val, which is our first medic that we revealed. And I really like the fact that she has really 3 distinct items and weapons that play different phases of a round. So early on in the round, you're playing with her tranquilizer and you're trying to help the trapper sort of like spot the monster and sedate the monster. Then as your team start taking a beating, then you're running around and keeping everyone healthy and then also you've got that really, really powerful anti-material rifle to shoot sort of weak spots on it. So I played a lot as Val. But yeah, right now I'm playing a lot of Hyde, not mainly because we're prepping for E3, but we've been playing a lot with this content specifically the last few weeks, so I'm loving Hyde. But I play a lot as I played them all a lot, you know, a lot more than most people, I guess, because people only play for like an hour. So, but I'm loving Hyde, loving Val, which is cool because 2 different classes, you know, and the best thing for me is when your team wins, you really feel like you had to have played your role and you had to have done your part for your team to win. So that cooperative element and that camaraderie from a team win is great, and it's not something that I've really experienced in another game like that. A lot of the time you play your sort of team death matches or your specific games of play, you have like 2 or 3 players who are really, really awesome. They can really win the game for you, and it's just not like that in Evolve. Everyone plays their part and everyone comes together to sort of create a great group. And again, we tout this, the evolution of multiplayer, in terms of that, the evolution of cooperative, and that we really think it is the next sort of step up from what the guys achieved with Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. So have you announced your plans for the beta yet? Or?
So we announced on stage on the Microsoft briefing that we're going to have an open beta on Xbox One prior to launch, but that's sort of the only details we've revealed. So we are going to have one. Watch this space, I think, for more information.
Okay. Being a PC gamer, I'm all about options and configuring keybinds, graphics, whatever. And of course, in Left 4 Dead, being on the Source engine, you had all that stuff, and now you're on the Crytek engine.
CryEngine, yeah.
So you've got all that stuff like field of view sliders, all those extra PC features that we love.
They're all in there, yeah. It's I think Crytek themselves, they're very sort of PC centric. The game, in terms of content and the way it plays, is really truly agnostic, and it's really the same experience no matter what platform you play on it. But at the same time, we're the studio at Turtle Rock and at 2K Games. We completely respect the PC gamers, and we just want to give you the ability to do the things you want to do. There's no reason for us to take it away. It's already there. The CryEngine, it's already there. So yes, absolutely, that sort of stuff's in there.
Okay. Finally, could you describe Evolve in 3 words?
Not that wasn't my first word. So strategic, unique, fun.
That's a very good answer. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Cheers.
Not 3 individual words. I should have done a sentence, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. But hard to get a sentence in 3 words.
Yeah. But there you go.
Do you want to do a sentence?
No.
We're all good. We're going to go with that then.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, that's great.
Those are good words.
And there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that and learnt a little bit about this game. If it's your sort of thing, maybe you don't like the sound of it at all. Either way, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, check out g2a.com/r/jackfrags for super cheap games. Use the code FRAGS up to 5 times for an additional discount. Leave a rating and a comment. I'll see you in the next one.